Now there are three categories of coaches that Bluco can go for Chelsea. And first one, top coaches, which they should have gone for since after they shouldn't have even sacked Tuchel because he's in that category. But um, the options available: Nagelsmann, Enrique, some of the popular names, and for me, any one of them would be okay, more than okay for me. And Enrique might seem not possible, but they've been trying to agree contracts with PSG, and he's been stalling. So there's a possibility that he's trying, like, he wants a new challenge, and he might want to come to the Premier League because even Man United will be looking for a manager. So I think that's a good option. Another one is Julian Nagelsmann, which is my preferred choice. I think Nagelsmann will fit the Chelsea project. Although I want the project to be adjusted a bit, I think he will fit the project more if they're going to be signing a bit more proven players. And he's a young manager who has worked with Leipzig, Bayern Munich, and Germany, and has worked with some of the best players in the world. So I think he will suit our project. He has worked with a lot of young players, and by young I don't mean Bluco's young. It's like players of like 23 plus to 27 players are about approaching their peak, and he has developed them a lot. The second category of coaches would be the upcoming coaches / average coaches currently, which would be Bournemouth, Iraola, former Chelsea players Felipe Luis and Frank Lampard, and Cesc Fabregas. And personally, if I'm to choose, I'll choose Iraola of Bournemouth because he's Premier League proven and he has done quite well with Bournemouth. I think they might end up qualifying for Europe this season, depending on how well other teams do. Other options, Fabregas would be a good option. For me, Lampard will also be a good option, even though some people say he's a flop or what. But Lampard in his first spell at Chelsea did very well. Second season, he was, I think we're at the point we looked like we're challenging for the league, or we're top 2, top 3. Yeah, we're at the top of the league at some point, but then we fell off, lost some games, and then he got sacked. So that was just a poor run of form, and Abramovich normally sack managers quickly. So Lampard is another good option, but to me, I prefer Raiola because he has done well in the Premier League. So these are the two main categories, and it's more likely that they'll continue their normal model and go for an average coach. But then the third possible option, which is if for me this is if they try to get the top coach and the top coach doesn't agree to come based on the track record they've built so far, 4 years in, they've not hired the top coach because they don't want to agree to certain kind of things. So for me, this is an option that is open if the top coaches don't want to come in, and I just felt they can get either a coach that is either very close to the top, which that's unlikely, or someone that he has done very well in his career, and he has reached his peak and is kind of declining and will probably retire soon, but then can still do quite a lot for us. And for me, the option that comes to my mind is Jose Mourinho. He has had 2 spells at Chelsea. He has done well in his 2 spells. He has also had rough periods, and I just feel like he can bring in his aura, his experience, and basically build. See, we're at the point where we're like, this point now is a rebuild. We're not every single season, and even now, I'm seeing everyone saying sign this player, sign Njaye, sign Murillo. We'll compete for the league. This is what we've been saying since how many years? We're not competing for the league. Maresca's season is the peak of Bluco so far. The truth is that we are quite far from competing for the league, and I believe we are like 2-3 years away. We can put some kind of competition to an extent, but in the end, finish in the top 5 and fall off quite early before halfway through the season. That's what I believe for now. And so I feel Jose Mourinho give a 2-year contract, get us back into the Champions League. Just keep improving the team and set the standards now for the next the top manager that will come in. And remember, this option is if the top manager doesn't want to join in. Because when I said Jose Mourinho to Chelsea, some people were like, what is he coming to do? But I don't think they understand it from this lens. Because me, I prefer a top coach. Nagelsmann is my number 1 option. Just get me any other top coach and I'm okay with it. But if I were a top coach, coaching a particular team or have other options, I can never choose Chelsea. I'm not interested. Even if I'm like 50 years old, all my life I'm a Chelsea fan, I don't care. Because like this project doesn't look like it has direction. So I would not want to take that risk. I would prefer someone else to go there, maybe set it up there for like 5 years, and then if they're interested in me, I come in. So I don't think top coaches will be interested in coming. That's why I believe this is a very good option. So leave your thoughts in the comment section. Who do you think should be Chelsea's next coach? Based on categories, do you have a preferred option?